welcome again to our coaching edition in the zone. Today, together with us is Coach Gary, Coach G. All right, thank you so much for being here today, Coach Gary.
Sure. What's up, everyone? Hello, this is Coach Gary here.
All right, so Coach Gary, before we start, we want to know about how did you start coaching?
I started coaching when I was pretty much like 22 years old, a few years ago. So I get to know basketball when I was very young, 17, not so young for some of us. But once I got into basketball, it's hard to let it go. But since our body can't take it, you give it to the younger ones.
So now you decided to become a full-time coach in SG Basketball, right?
Yep.
So anybody that influenced you to become a coach?
Actually, a lot of old coaches.
Maybe you can name few, like two, one.
Few of the coaches will be coaches from my previous club, or even from the club that I just started. Yep, which is two main clubs, which is Ning Yi and Tong Wai. These two clubs are the coaches down there. I learned a lot from them. Yeah, inside the court, outside the court, both.
Wow! So can you share to us the characteristic or things that you learned as a player, as a coach?
Things that I learned as a player is always perseverance. Never say die spirit.
Wow. Okay, so you shared about being a player and a coach. Let's talk about your achievements as a player. When did you start and your journey throughout that years?
Actually, my first school team was when I was in Polytechnic. So it's like pretty late for basketball players in Singapore.
Yes.
So my achievement as a player is to have a good team in the Polytechnic and also to win a championship from the IBP.
From IBP, you got a championship from IBP. And what else tournament did you join when you are a player?
When I was a player, I joined during the first starting point. I was just playing for schools. After that, I'm going to clubs, and I'm fortunate to have a few opportunities to play, locally and also overseas.
Okay, locally, like NBL, right? Yep. NBL, the top league here in Singapore in terms of semi-pro. Okay, can you share to us what other leagues did you join?
In Singapore, there's not a lot of leagues. For us, it's community games. So that's one of the few so-called major leagues, legal leagues in Singapore. But besides that, most of the leagues I joined is actually quite minor. There's a small league, neighborhood type.
Oh, all right. But I saw you last time. You played in Pro-Am. Pro-Am, and then also I saw also in your Instagram you played in Japan. Can you tell us more about it?
Playing overseas is actually fun. Okay, I actually love it because of the intensity. The game is totally different. The way the referee called the game is even different. Yeah, so I think there's a lot more contact, and physical-wise, Asian, local, we tends to lose out. So there's a lot more to learn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, any achievements as a player?
Achievement as a player, I would say I really learned a lot on and off the court. Besides talking about championships and stuff, I would say I learned about life, about how we're gonna pick ourselves up every time we make a mistake or something.
All right. And then as a coach?
As a coach,
experience. Yes.
Coaching experience, so I think it's a pretty smooth journey for me because the first school that I've coached is a primary school. The first year that I coached is we have a few good players and actually managed to get the South Zone Championship.
Oh wow! Wow, that's the start of your coaching.
Yeah, so
and
that's why I'm fortunate.
Okay, after that?
After that, I'm still taking the school, and slowly I've been taking a few different schools. I want to try girls team and boys team. I doesn't want to just stick to boys. I just want to see how things changes in different genders and even different levels of basketball.
Yes. Okay. Talking about coaching and playing, maybe you can share to us more about your most memorable days in playing and also in coaching.
Most memorable days in playing, I would say, would be every team that I play is memorable. There's too many to talk about. So I'll go into the coaching part. Best coaching experience would be, the first year getting the championship, getting recognition, so forth. Some people might say it's luck, some people might say things, but ultimately I know that I tried my best. So I think it's a good achievement for me to be the start and get the championship of the South Zone.
Oh, all right. As a player,
As a player, I think most of the teams that I've been playing with, the schools team, is pretty strong.
uh-huh.
So, got a few IVP championship.
Yes.
Best takeaway, I would say,
Uh-huh.
would be forging friendships around.
Wow.
the
Yes,
basketball
very
scene.
true. Yes. And then also, I remember playing with you 2012. Okay. How old are you that time?
012 that time was 8 years back, around 1920.
20 years old. So you were like playing for 3 years already. Yeah, because when I reached Singapore, yeah, Coach Boise already introduced me to Takoy, and that's when I know you. All right. Okay, closing question for you, Coach Gary. Okay, for those who wants to be a player and for those who wants to be a coach, anything to advise them or say?
I think if you want to be a really good player, it really comes deep down from the heart. And it's not only you talk, you say that you want to be, but actually you need to give up something, your own time, playing
Yes.
games and stuff, and really train correctly.
Yes.
And not just train and strain yourself.
Yes.
It's all in the heart, I think.
Yes.
To be a good player, find a good coach. Where.
sgbasketball. Shadzone
Yeah.
guys. Yes.
As a player, that's it I want to say. As a coach, I think there's a lot of coaches out there, a lot of young coaches,
Yeah.
old coaches. I think as a coach, you really need a lot of freshness. I mean, you need things to spice up your game.
Yes.
Everybody is doing the same thing. Students will get bored.
Yes.
So we need to. Some people will call it copy, but
Yes.
I would say implementing. We taking some from here, taking some
Yes.
from there. Try to mix it up together to make it interesting for the
Yes.
students and as well as their learning.
Wow. All right. There you go, guys. You heard it from Coach Gary today. We'll learn a lot about Coach Gary. Coach Gary, thank you so much for joining us today. All right, guys. If you want Coach Gary, you just call SG Basketball. Okay, look for Coach Gary, and he is here. Thank you so much, Coach Gary, for your time. That's for another edition of In the Zone. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. All right.